everyone. I am Joyce Nivera and I will be the first one to discuss about the cardiovascular system. So, what is cardiovascular system? The cardiovascular system, also known as circulatory system, is a complex network responsible for transporting oxygen, nutrients, and hormones throughout the body while removing waste products. It comprises the heart, blood vessels, and blood. The heart, blood vessels, and blood, these three are the vessels of the cardiovascular system. Now, let us discuss the functions of these vessels. The first one is the heart. The heart is a muscular organ that acts as a pump propelling blood through the circulatory system. It consists of 4 chambers, 2 atria receiving chambers, and 2 ventricles, which are the pumping chambers. Here an example picture of the right chambers and the left chambers. The right chambers consist of 1 right atrium and right ventricles, and the left chambers consist of left atrium and left ventricle. The right chamber or the right chambers pumps the oxygenated blood, and the left chamber pumps oxygenated blood. The heart is surrounded by 3 heart layers. The first one is the endocardium. The endocardium is the inner layer of the heart, lining the heart chambers. The endocardium in this picture is the yellowish lane. And the next one is the myocardium. Myocardium is the thick muscular middle layer of the heart. As you can see in the picture, the line or the column that is colored red is the myocardium. It is thick and a muscular middle layer of the heart. The third one is the epicardium. Epicardium is the violet or the purplish color lane, and the rest of it is its part, which is the parietal layer of serous pericardium, pericardial cavity, and fibrous pericardium. The heart also have 4 valves. These valves are the tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, mitral valve, and the aortic valve. Tricuspid valve controls the opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle. The second is the pulmonary valve. The pulmonary valve prevents blood that has been ejected into the pulmonary artery from returning into the right ventricle as it relaxes. The mitral valve, also called the bicuspid valve. The fourth one is the aortic valve. Whenever the blood leaves the left ventricle through this valve and cannot return to the left ventricle. The heart's rhythmic contraction are controlled by an internal electrical system and ensuring continuous blood circulation. The second part of the cardiovascular system, which is part of the circulatory system, is the blood vessels. Blood vessels consist of arteries, capillaries, and veins. The first one is the arteries. The arteries supply the body with oxygenated blood and carry the blood away from the heart. The second is the veins. Veins return the oxygenated blood from the tissues back to the heart, and it contains valves to prevent the backflow of the blood. The third one is the capillaries. Capillaries can be compared to the smallest branches of a tree and connect anterioles to venules. This thin layer allows for the exchange of nutrients, gases, and waste with tissues organs. Here are the pictures of the blood vessels. The last part of the cardiovascular system is the blood. The blood is a fluid connective tissue composed of plasma, a liquid component, and formed elements, which is the red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets. Red blood cells do the transporting of gases, while the white blood cells can fight infections and diseases. Platelets are actually cellular fragments, and they're involved with helping your blood clot. This picture shows the process of blood being circulated to transfer oxygen to the lungs back to the heart. To get there, the blood enters the vena cava, the inferior vena cava to be specific. The superior vena cava is located above the heart. Then the blood enters the right atrium. The right atrium contracts, pushing the blood to the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. The right ventricle contracts, pumping the blood to the pulmonary valve. To the pulmonary artery. So by the way, when we say pulmonary, it likely involves the lungs. So from the pulmonary artery takes the blood to the lungs. The lungs is where the red blood cells in the blood will take on oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Now this blood is oxygenated. Now that it is oxygenated, it needs to return to the heart so that the heart can pump it throughout the body. The oxygenated blood travels through pulmonary veins to the left atrium. The left atrium contracts and the blood travels through the mitral valve, also known as the bicuspid valve, into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts and pumps the blood through the aortic valve and out a major artery known as the aorta. Aorta is a major artery that carries oxygenated blood throughout the body. Since the oxygenated blood is already released, the process will repeat as it cycles the circulatory system. So that is the end of my discussion. The rest of the discussion will be discussed by my partner. So that is all. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye!